hello, our visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. How are you? We're now going live from Zoom to YouTube. Just in one moment, let's make sure that on YouTube, the live streaming is on. And I need to put it into our right playlist so that people on our channel could watch it. So just one moment. How are you doing? Today is Wednesday, right? Wonderful Wednesday. I hope everybody had some a great time. I earlier had my mastermind time. So let's see. Cool. Both the live video is playing. Let me mute it so we do not have an echo, right? So good. Now let's get back to our room. And today this is super excited. This is a second part of our chapter 10 of the Wisdom of Sundays by Oprah Winfrey, one of her #1 New York Times bestseller. This is the life-changing insights from Super Soul Conversations. It's inspirations, wisdom from Oprah Winfrey and all those illuminators she interviewed through all those years. Right? It's a wonderful jewels, I would say, in wisdom. It's like so many aha moments. And today on the last chapter, love and connection, we are finishing, hopefully today, the last part. Okay, let's continue on the page 209. Rob Bell and Kristen Bell. Rob said, there is nothing more beautiful than an odd, strange word, especially if it's got meaning and significance attached to it. So I stumbled across the word while studying the writing of a Kabbalah mystic, Isaac Luria, who lives in Jerusalem. The original word is spelled with a T. It's T-Z-I-M, T-Z-U-M, and it means to contract or withdraw. This idea of making someone bigger in your life, creating space for another. Christine said, when you are married, you create space for this other person to thrive while they are doing the same for you. What that does is create space between you, and that has an energy to it. And we've recognized this energy in our own relationship. We can tell when it's flowing and bringing life. We can tell when something's blocking it. Rob said, it's when you intentionally give yourself to another, not just, well, let's see how this afternoon goes. No, I'm in this. Very interesting about the relationship, right? The space to create for each other. The secret to long marriage is she has the right person, and we decided fairly early in our life to give each other plenty of space. Let me show you the book. Okay. Rosalind has her own ideas, her own ambitions, her own goals in life, which in some ways are different from mine. I let her do her thing. She lets me do my thing, and we try to resolve our inevitable and fairly frequent differences before we go to bed at night. All by President Jimmy Carter. Pastor, next one is from Pastor Winnie Phillips. If you are going to really love somebody, that means you are going to have faith in them. If you are going to love somebody, you're going to have the integrity and the goodness. Let me see here, okay? The relationship is here. It's all about the love and connection, right? You need to have the faith, you need to have the integrity and the goodness. If you are going to love somebody, you have to learn to be patient with their strengths and with their weaknesses. So you will not feel like threatened by their strength, right? Or maybe dominant to feel like inferior. And you will not also like disrespect their weakness. I know this is easy to say, right? Than really practice. Love is when you choose to be at your best when the other person is not at their best. I love this one. Love is when you choose to be at your best when the other, especially when the other person is not at their best. That's the biggest lesson for all of us to learn, right? Love is when what you want is never important, but what the other person needs and wants is always paramount. What the other person needs and wants is always paramount. That's what true love is. And the most challenging part is when what they want and what they need, you feel like it's not good. It's not like aligned with your values, right? That's the most challenging and testing time. Yeah. Now it's from Brene Brown. Oprah asked, doesn't vulnerability open the door to having greater intimacy? Brene Brown said, I think it's the only door. Oprah said, yes, I agree with you. There is no intimacy where there isn't vulnerability. Brene said, think about this. We wake up in the morning, we armor up, we go out into the world with this take no prisoners attitude. You're not going to see me. You're not going to hurt me, right? We're all in a defensive kind of mode before we go to the world. We come home and we don't take that armor off. And so then all of a sudden, you know, when you're talking about sex or intimacy, you get in bed and all of a sudden it's like two people in big honking armor outfits. It doesn't work. Oprah said, I think that being open is what allows you the confidence to know that everybody else has also felt the same thing, that there is no emotion that you can have that somebody else hasn't had. Renee said, ever. Oprah said, and that's what carried me through thousands of interviews. I know that whatever I'm feeling, there's at least 10 other people who are feeling the same thing. Renee said, which is vulnerability and courage. This is super important. Oprah Winfrey always emphasizing that her success because that kind of a connection. She knows that other people are sharing the similar needs, desires, right? Like just like similar maybe challenges as well. So that's why she said when she had that emotions, she believed that other people, at least 10 of others, right, also have the similar, not kind of a resolution, not kind of alignment. It's that connection is truly one of the biggest reasons why Oprah Winfrey is successful, right? So now, and no matter what kind of business we are, I really admire that she did thousands of interviews. And whatever like entrepreneurship business we are in, super important, understand that whatever business you are in, we are in a connection and relationship business. It's all, no matter what you do, okay? Even though you are doing like either blue color or like a white color or whatever like services you're providing, we are all doing relationship business, okay? So connection is the foundation and the most important thing to open the door, right? Tracy Morgan said, okay, now it's an interview for Tracy Morgan. Oprah asked, I've met so many comedians who feel like they've got to be funny to be valued. That it's all about the joke and it's all about how funny can you be. And they are always thinking about the next joke. So was this revelation to realize that you could be so loved? Tracy said, I feel like I tapped into humanity and love. I really feel like I tapped into it. It's like I tapped into it, the humanity and love, okay? And now people just love you. When you can tap into that, this is key, actually. All entrepreneurs, humanity and love, when you can tap into it, that's the key, okay? And now people just love you. I mean, when I first came out of the hospital, the first time I ever left my house, there were people crying and hugging me. And it was weird to me, but it felt good. People really care. People care. And it's just made me have this new belief in people again. Now, when I come out on stage, I get a standing ovation because that's just people, goodwill, being happy. But then you've got a 20-second grace period. You got to go to work after that. You can't forget people paid for these tickets. So I go to work and I know I've tapped into something that no other comedian can really talk about. I've been to the other side and I came back bearing gifts. That's wonderful, okay? Being to the other side, it's just like another side, it's almost like going through death, even though I don't know Tracy's whole story, but she came out from a hospital, right? She's like regained her life. She came back with bearing gifts. And these jokes that I'm giving you all are the gifts. I love that. It's really like getting the comedian career, right, to the next level. It's really tap into humanity and love. So that's a gift. When she's giving to people, it's no jokes anymore. Those jokes to be gifts. So think about what is our service. Like I'm sharing now, I'm coaching, I'm teaching, I'm sharing every day, I'm creating, I'm serving. This is gift. When you're connecting people in this way, it's a gift you're giving, you're contributing to humanity and love. This is true gift. You're turning your business into a connection. Next one, Phil Jackson. It's such a great community that you have when you play the sport, especially if you get to play it at a high level. This is what spirit Jacobs, the word exactly comes from. I suspect that is the French, I hope, that there is a spirit among this connected group of people. And this spirituality is not about religion, of course. It's about ability to incorporate other beings in your plans, in your system. And my best nature also elevates their nature, and basketball or sports like this. It does this for us as watchers too, as spectators. We see something that is a remarkable plan. We want to see it over and over again because it brings an elevated spirit to us, that this was not just an individual action. Wow, all these kind of connections, right? Wonderful at the spiritual level. Next one from Zheng Archer, where we might have different definitions of happiness. The triggers for happiness are similar worldwide. It's a deep social connection. The triggers for happiness is similar worldwide. It's a deep social connection, relationships. The breadth and depth and meaning in our relationships is one of the greatest predictors of long-term levels of happiness we have. Oh, that's true. I remember there's research from Harvard, I forgot which department, but Harvard professors and this department, they did research and years of following their, let's say, their testing the audience or their subjects, right? And eventually found what's the happiness, the number one reason, what contributes to the happiness and even longevity. Number one reason is their relationship. Okay, the relationship, harmony, and relationship in harmony, in relationship great, the loving, compassionate relationship, definitely is the number one reason for people's happiness and longevity. Some of the top researchers in positive psychology, okay, now I figured out it's for psychology, found that only 10% of our long-term levels of happiness are based upon the external world. 90% of our long-term happiness is how the brain processes the world we find ourselves in. That means your mindset, your relationship, everything related, that like 90% decide your long-term happiness. That's a cool research, psychology research. Let me see. Wow, we're only a few pages. Let me turn on my light. I feel like a little bit dark inside. Gloria Steinem. I was walking through Indian villages with a, let's say, Gandhian group, trying to get a message of we care about you to an area where there had been riots. So we were just traveling by foot and being fed by the villagers. Every night we would sit around a kerosene lamp, and the villagers would tell terrible stories of what was happening. But by the end of a few hours, the very fact that they could talk to each other, that they weren't alone in experiencing this, would begin to transform the group. And the Gandhians had told me guidelines to set talking cycles. If you want people to listen to you, you have to listen to them. If you want to know how people live, you have to go where they live. Everyone has a story. You have to listen to each other's stories and sit in a circle. And every movement that we care about, the civil rights movement came out of churches in the South. People testifying and telling their stories, and the women's movement started with women sitting in circles and telling their stories. We are communal people, but it took me a while to realize that what I had learned in India had any application in the rest of my life. Oprah said, well, in order for truth to be truth, it applies to all things. See, truth to be truth applies to all the things. It's not just in India, right? It's in her life, in other places as well. Oprah said, oh, okay. Gloria said, oh, that's very good. Oprah said, that's what I figured out in all of my interviews. To be truthful, it has to apply to all things. To be truthful, it has to apply to all things. Gloria said, yes, right. So that's like abundance, like a wisdom, right? We're talking about the love, connections, compassion. This apply to all humans, all like the universe. Next one, Brian Stevenson. My clients have told me that each person is more than the worst thing they've ever done. Because when I meet them through some accusation of something horrible and horrific and terrible. And what they teach me is that they are more than that crime. They are more than that worst act. And I really have come to believe that if someone tells a lie, they are not just a liar. Okay, so, all right, so this is important, okay? If someone tells a lie, they're not a liar. They are more than a liar, okay? So do not just like decrease or reduce them just to be lies, right? If someone takes something that doesn't belong to them, they are not just a thief. Even if you kill somebody, you are not just a killer. And what a just and evolved and compassionate society has to do is to figure out the other things you are. By the way, even though I'm reading those, I definitely do not wish anybody to commit those crimes, right? So it's horrible. And every one of us need to believe that you are beyond those evil like impulses, right? Those evil thinking. We are more than that. Oprah said, how have the lives of your clients informed your own humanity? Brian said, it taught me that mercy is not something we give to people because they deserve it. Compassion is not something we offer to people because they are owned it. It's what we do because it's the way we find mercy for ourselves. We can't get mercy unless you give it. You can't receive compassion unless you give it. And it's made me want to be merciful and compassionate. It's made me want to understand the people who are unhappy with me, who are hostile to me, who sometimes act as if they hate me. I used to get death threats and bomb threats, and it's made me not want to believe that the people behind those threats are just enemies or haters or bigots. It's made me recognize that they are like my clients. They need someone to get past what's created this burden, this fear, this anger, this hostility. And exactly in those kind of, I would say in those kind of negative things, it's like people crying and yelling and for help because they are living in those kind of burdens and fears, right? And strugglings, that's and angers. That's why they need help. This is definitely why Brian said that you need to give, okay? For you to, you need to give. You can't get a mercy unless you give it. You can't receive compassion unless you give it. So whatever you want, give it first. Let me turn on a louder light. Why it's so dark? Now it's much better, my light. Okay. Manana Yousafzai. Oprah asked, so this is what's interesting, that living your truth nearly cost your life. You've said if you are afraid, you can't move forward. And so is courage something that you think other people can develop or give to themselves? Courage, she's talking about courage. Malala said, there is this fight between courage and fear. And sometimes we choose fear because we want to protect ourselves, but we don't realize that by choosing fear, we put ourselves in a situation that has a really bad impact on us. So if I would have kept silent in Swat Valley and my father would have kept silent and all of us would have kept silent, then there would not have been that moment when change would have come to us in our valley. So it's better to speak out to have that moment when you say, I'm going to do something for my side. and that needs a bit of courage. So our courage was stronger than our fear, and that's what really changed our lives. There was fear. It wasn't that we just totally were fine with what was going on in our society. We were afraid. Oprah said, has this experience made you less afraid? Manana said, yes, definitely. Before the attack, I used to think, how would it feel if you were attacked? And I had these thoughts coming again and again, and I sometimes did think that I would be attacked. Not really expecting, but these thoughts were coming to my mind. But after I was attacked, as I said in my United Nations speech, that they changed nothing in my life except that weakness, fear, and hopelessness died, and strength, power, and courage was born. I feel stronger than before. Being attacked, right? When you're really being confronted and really attacked. Changed nothing when I expect that weakness, fear, and hopelessness died, and strength, power, and courage were born. Wow, that's like went through that kind of a big challenge, right? Attack. Oprah said, yes, Melanie. Finish this sentence, I believe. Melanie said, I believe and I know for sure that if you have strong commitment within your heart, if you have love in your heart, that you want to do something better, the whole world and the whole universe supports you and your cause. That's beautiful, right? I believe and I know for sure that if you have strong commitment within your heart, if you have love in your heart, and if you want to do something better, the whole world and the whole universe supports you and your cause. And I had this simple one word or one sentence dream that was to see every child going to school. And I spoke out for it. And my father spoke out for it in a small valley in Pakistan, Swat Valley. And the journey started. And now it's going on and getting better and developing each and every day. That's wonderful, right? Like for me, and my one sentence is like abundance of all. And I have this commitment, and I have this belief, and I have this love and compassion inside of me. So this is turning me to be a stronger person. Because sometimes many failures or many frustration things you want to give up. But that's because of this faith, because this belief is supporting me through all this journey, 14 years, more than 14 years journey, and many darkest nights of soul. Next one from Ellie Wisa. Whatever you do in life, remember, think higher and feel deeper. Life is not a fist. Life is an open hand waiting for some other hand to enter it in friendship. Ultimately, the answers are so simple. No simplistic, but so simple. Now, next one. Oh, okay, almost the ending. Okay, why are you here? That's the ultimate question that you get to answer with every action, thought, and feeling. There is a calling on your life. What will be your answer? Why you're here? Okay, why? What's your why? And now, like I just mentioned, my sentence is so simple, like abundance of all, right? Abundance, not just for myself, but for all. This is my purpose, the highest purpose and highest ultimate call. So what is yours? What is yours? You're here. Okay, I hope you have a clear answer. Now, at the ending part, let me see if I would read it. Okay, this is like a summary of this like an epilogue. In order to experience life, we got to start asking life's big questions. So Oprah said, with every insight you've experienced from the wisdom of Sundays, you can see that each person on earth is charting their own spiritual course. Your soul is as unique as your fingerprint, and the journey to connect to the deepest part of yourself can only be explored by you. I've gained great understanding from all of these conversations, and I have come to know that as long as you are asking the right questions of yourself, the answers will readily reveal themselves. Who do you want to be? How can you allow who you want to be to thrive in all aspects of your life? I often think of this principle when I'm talking with the girls who have graduated from the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy in South Africa. In leadership, let me see, Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy in South Africa. That's good. That's Oprah Winfrey's one of her courses. I'm committed to supporting them through college, and often that simple means being there to listen. This is a time when they start asking, what should I major in? Or what do I want to do with my life? I tell them a career is not a life. The essential question is, who do you want to be? Okay. The essential question is, who do you want to be? And so now I ask you, how can you allow who you want to be to emerge in all aspects of your life? All aspects of your life. So Oprah Winfrey is asking us most important fundamental questions. Why are you here? And who do you want to be? Most of the conversations on Super Soul Sunday end with a series of big questions for each guest. Take the time to ask yourself the same things, and I promise the life vision waiting to be claimed by you will not only unfold, it will expand. Love that. Waiting to be by you will not only unfold, and it will expand. And like I did this Momentum Monday, this week Monday, I talked about that vision or the path. When you co-create it, right, it will not just unfold to you. You will co-create and expand it, exactly like the rest of it is here. I wish you clarify love and most of all, freedom in your lifelong spiritual adventure. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Oprah. So I'm truly thankful to her. And okay, so, and at the end are those contributors. She has this credit. And now, let's see. I would recommend you to read this epilogue after Oprah Winfrey. Everyone has their understanding. The soul is, the soul is, the soul is what? Okay, everybody has a different understanding of the spirit is, the soul is, the religion is. Okay, and then Oprah is ending with this. I love this picture, by the way. Can you see that? Yes. Bamboos, can you see that? Bamboos, right? I believe that beyond this space and time, all is well and all will be well, Oprah Winfrey said. So that's eventually after you close these conversations, the super soul conversations, I hope you have that peace, that abundance inside of you and knows that where you're going, why you are here, and who you want to become. All right, so super happy. We are finishing this book today. This is where I think is Oprah Winfrey's of her community. So about this author, this ending one is like over the course of her esteemed career, Oprah Winfrey has created an unparalleled connection with people around the world. As a host and surprising producer of the top-rated, award-winning The Oprah Winfrey Show, she entertained, enlightened, and uplifted millions of viewers for 25 years. Her accomplishments as a global media leader and a philanthropist have established her as one of the most influential and admired public figures in the world today. Global media leader, philanthropist, and most influential and admired public figures. That's Oprah Winfrey, a true thought leader, So I'm so happy. And we finished this book. Celebrating everybody, congratulations to all of us. If you are reading with me, congratulations to me and congratulations to thank God for this guidance. So this is our 5th book. So let's see, I have a both book of Oprah Winfrey. Another is The Past Made Clear, Life, your discovering your life's direction and purpose. And this one is The Wisdom of Sundays, life-changing insights from Super Soul Conversations. So both of them I highly recommend. And definitely after you read it, what do you feel? You know, some people may think, oh, entrepreneurs, I need to do business, I need to make money. But this one give you the strength, give you the wisdom, give you the belief, and give you the past direction. And this is super more important than anything like that, any money can, because this really bring you the abundance and starting from inside. And this is a really true wealth. I'm super happy and thank God, and also Oprah Winfrey for this gifts. This is truly gifts, and that's where I want for my life, for my inspiration, for my sharing, for my creation, for my service, anything I'm doing. I hope it's like a blessed gifts through me from God. Okay, through me, I'm just a vehicle. I'm just like here a vase, right? Through me to give to you. So that will be my best purpose and a blessing. And just a quick mention about the next book. Are you curious about what would be our next book? Here it is, The Expert Secret from from Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels. I've been using their platform for years, for at least 6 years, I think, more than that maybe. And he has a like trilogy kind of a book. First is the .com secrets. The second one is the expert secrets. And the third one is traffic secrets. And all of them are great. Both have great thoughts, wisdom inside of it, and also great business strategies and also applications. And so I want to choose the middle one, the expert secrets, because we are serving our coaches, visionary entrepreneurs, and life changers, right? This is definitely a bridge book for you to understand how to bring your gifts, bring your whatever is inside of you already, but bring it to the market and to serve more people. So definitely make sure. And by the way, I think, okay, I just remembered I am affiliate of ClickFunnels. I do have their link, affiliate link of this book. I will share with you later, maybe tomorrow, maybe later tonight. We share that link so you could get, if you like, through my affiliate link. That will be support to me and also support to our course, right? To our abundance reading as well. I almost forgot, but now I'm happy that I remembered. This may be just one of a few affiliate programs I just recommend, right? Normally, only I experience, I found it's great. I will recommend to you. So we will read this book since tomorrow, okay? We can read it. So we are, this year, our challenge, 12 months challenge, 365 days challenge, right? We will read at least 12 books. And we are now so far on the calendar, on the schedule, 12 great books for both for your mind success and also for personal growth, right? Also for your business success. So this one is like a bridging from you as the expert, as a like gifted person to really the business, to a market. Okay, so we will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And by the way, after this, I will get on our Instagram to have a quick few within 5 minutes, kind of a quick highlight, quick digest. So welcome to follow us. Both subscribe to our YouTube channel and also get on our Instagram so we could have a daily quick momentum and highlights digest.